adding my guest who's on with me now, Cherrish, and I'm glad she's here because this is who I was waiting to come on, and I had a little glitch in my AI, if I can say so, in our little artificial world. But it has benefits. It's just not one side. It has benefits. We can connect like this. Her being in another part of California, being in an opposite part of California. But hi, Cherish. Glad to have you here on West Coast Uncensored with my brand name Dboy, but I'm actually Daniel Abril, and we're just here to build consciousness and oneness and unity, and glad to have you. And I'm just gonna let you, we're gonna go and we're gonna just let this flow. We don't have a platform or agenda I'm going to teach on today. We're just gonna let it go and let it flow. Glad to have you. Glad you were on. You have a microphone?
Hi, Daniel.
Okay, good. I can hear you. I just want.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Glad
okay,
to
good.
Have you.
Yes, thank you so much, Daniel. I'm Cherrish Castenda. I'm the founder of Roots Indigenous Priory. We're an indigenous-based healing center here in Sacramento, California. We utilize ancestral healing modalities with modern frequency therapies such as microcurrent, scalar wave therapy, PEMF therapy, red light therapy, sound technology, herbal remedies. Yeah, and I'm the creator of Frequency Talks. It's I go live on Mondays on TikTok, where we dive into frequency talks all the way. Frequency is everything. So, we dive into the frequency of everything based off of quantum physics and biophysics. That's pretty much what I do. So I appreciate you for inviting me on. And I'd love to talk about whatever comes up.
Well, I like what you're talking because that's really the reality is like what you said, that everything's frequency, vibration. My son had sent something you just said, sent me a little Instagram video, short one, and it was a guy talking about how everything was a thought, and he goes, and you speak it, it becomes a vibration, and it repels or attracts. And I was like, man, that's good, because my son kind of getting to understand and going to a deeper in himself, and so he sent me this video. But that's really what it is what you're saying. I really appreciate it. I know a couple of people indigenous here that use drums for healing because it's frequency and vibration and sound. And actually, he's a therapist.
Yeah, so the reason drums heal, the reason that the drums heal scientifically, they bring coherence to the thoughts and the heart. So the feeling and the thoughts, that's the secret to creating our own reality, because when our thoughts are projecting one frequency and our heart is projecting a different frequency, that's how the distortion happens in our reality. So the drum, it unifies that. So that's why meditating and prayer while you're drumming and chanting it brings that coherent state, like the void. It gets you to that Zen spot, that sweet center. And from there, you can project the right reality into the world.
Oh, that's outstanding. Wow. You're blowing me away already. We're definitely in harmony and where we're at and what we're talking about. And I know I had met you on Instagram, and I was really drawn to what you talked about in your work and going through that. And you said likewise with me. I find it very interesting that in what you're saying is because what we're talking about is definitely everything is that connected. I like what you said because I'm very much into alchemy, and that mind-heart coherence is needed for that's the great marriage, right? And when it's off, it's distorted. And the feminine and masculine would be distorted, right?
Yes, and that is something that I think a lot of people see as needing another partner, but the feminine and masculine is inside of us. And so it's that balance of the internal marriage that we have to accomplish in order for us to become the beings that we're destined to be. The wholeness, to get back to the wholeness, the pleroma. The Gnostics call it the pleroma. Every other culture calls it something else, but it just means that that zen, that center, that connection to our source. But yeah, this is the kind of stuff that live and breathe. And
Well,
like yourself, we've been on the journey through Eastern religions, Western religions, but ultimately our ancestors already knew all of this. This is why we dance in circles. This is why we drum and we sing and we move our bodies, because it's the frequency of the sound.
and it keeps us in
You know,
that harmony.
it's just everything is frequency.
Keeps it in nature and keeps it harmonized.
Yeah, all my relations.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's why we say mitakiase, or all my relations, because all of it is twined into the wholeness. But also we're individual. We have our own in the symphony to play, our own frequency.
The deferation, of the individual to the unity of oneness, There's that little bit of differentiation that as you go into the oneness and out of the so much duality is being, I used to always look at it as, and Seven said this was, and I look at it now, I had a talk with somebody the other day and I go, when you get your car washed, how often do you use neutral when you drive? And they go, really never. And I go, when do you use it? And they said, they were saying, really never. And I go, there is a time when you get your car washed. They're like, okay. I go, when you get your car washed, it's got to go in neutral, because neutral is not left or right. It's in that centered, right spot of being the neutral, right? It's the connection of unity and oneness, but also having that differentiation, right? Of that we are an individual, but we're
that
becoming
sweet
more
spot.
a unified individual. Yeah. Instead of so divided. As the
and you know, when people talk about what do they, when people talk about it's kind of glitching over here. When people talk about collective consciousness, it's that projection of my thoughts with your thoughts.
Cause a collaboration.
But not just my thoughts, my feelings. And so that energy that we're both projecting is going out into the morphic field. We call it plasma field.
Yeah. You are kind of glitching. Yeah, definitely good stuff that she's staying here. Hopefully she comes out of this glitch in a minute. I don't know what she's using. It's her Wi-Fi or the system. Very good stuff. I'm so glad to have Cherrish today. We have so much in common with her Castenda, and we both, kind of look Caucasian. And she's Cherrish Castenda. That's not a marriage name. She's actually a Native American, Hispanic, or Mexican. And so am I with the last name Abril. Hers definitely, mine is Abril. Abril in Spanish means, Cherrish, if you can hear me, go in and out. And then come back in. Use that link to come back in. Very good. I'm so glad to have her. The little bit of linking, it might be her Wi-Fi, or I don't know what she's using at home. Please come back in. I don't know if it's your Wi-Fi.
Hello.
Good to have you. And if this happens again, it is okay. I'm ready to stay with it. We'll be patient. I'm so glad to have you. I'm very kind of ecstatic at getting to know you and that connection of where I'm just like, wow. I kind of knew that there was a reason to connect.
Thank you.
Today I'm just like, I see. I appreciate it. Definitely.
Yeah.
A unity, oneness.
Yeah.
I believe
same here. You have so much knowledge.
Thank you, and so do you, because you're blowing me away, and I just see our connection of many things. While you were off, I was mentioning how we, even as people, having a similar background, even in our cultures of European, Native American, and Mexican, which is European indigenous mix in Mexico too.
Yeah.
So, like, how well do we really know each other? I mean, in states of consciousness, we may have did this a few times before in other times and spaces. Um, but yeah, so glad to have you.
Yeah.
Keep telling what you're
And
talking about.
our DNA would carry the memory if our
Yeah,
ancestors had worked together before as well.
yeah,
You know that they talk about ancestral trauma, but we carry a lot more than just the trauma. We carry the strengths of our
I'm
ancestors,
glad you
the
said that.
memory of their gifts and their skills. It's in blood and in our DNA, and that's why I believe this is, the prophecy of a lot of people are saying group seven. I think it's seventh generation. This is the prophecy of the
Yes, I actually hear it a lot from the God. What's the name of the tribe?
speak our truth with.
Yes,
Yeah. And
it's
that's what's
very
happening everywhere.
yeah, it's very that because hugely spoken in Native American is the seven generations. It's a very and it's all tribal with the
It's
seven
seven
generation
generation.
is mentioned seven
It's
before and
all,
seven after. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, very
Yep.
hugely and
And that's
connects.
why yeah, and Roots is designed to withstand seven generations, to provide roots and grounding, solid foundation for the next seven generations.
Yeah,
So what we do is we teach about how critical it is to protect the nervous system, and we start at the womb
yeah,
with the mothers and the babies,
yeah,
because that's where all of our distortion begins,
yeah,
and it's systematic. It's been
yeah.
intentionally designed that way. So
Right. Yeah,
what do we got to do? We got to create something different.
yeah,
Create something, new, but not new. Because
yeah.
our ancestors, they knew how to do this. Our ancestors kept the babies on their body,
Mm-hmm.
for so long. And now, only now, science is saying, don't let your baby cry itself to sleep. But before, mothers were being told to do that by medical doctors and
Yes,
scientists.
yes.
They were told, let the baby cry it out. Well, that was intentionally designed to disrupt our nervous system from birth. Same with circumcision, same with
Yeah,
formula, same with all the injections and the poisons they give babies right at birth. you
yeah.
know
It's the
so
separation from mother,
a
taking.
part of the seven
Yeah. Yeah, this is
birth
go ahead.
from birth, if that is if we can intervene, just
So
imagine the chance that our next generation will have.
yeah, it's really interesting because what you're doing there with that is it an organization, a nonprofit you're working with or part of?
No, Roots is an indigenous based church, a
Okay.
508, not a nonprofit.
Yeah.
And then Roots Healing Center is a arm of the church that offers its private members indigenous based and frequency based healing modalities, more and along with a lot of other things, like we
Any
do
plant-based?
advocacy for our advocacy.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Any plant-based stuff too?
Yeah.
Any extra
Yeah.
plant-based healing? Any plant-based healing?
I do teas, like teaching people about sage tea, the benefit of sage tea when you do the sauna sweats.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we get
Slide.
together. If you ever go to the Anipi,
No, no, I haven't.
yeah, the sweat lodge.
Yeah, I have some. Uh, I have a connection to a few indigenous folks here in Southern California, and I kind of aware. That's what I was asking. I was looking at, and I know some people who work at different things, but it's still connected to a system. You know what I mean? It's not totally independent, but it does help
It
the
is.
community. Yeah, that
And
I know of. Yeah,
you know, the problem with what I'm finding with Native American culture and Indians, that's what the real name that they were given when they first came here. To Native American, they had to sign away their sovereignty. They think they're still sovereign, but the law actually says Congress holds full power over them, which means
yes,
they're not sovereign because they need a guardian. So that's why the treaties are never honored.
yeah. My
So you're right, it's connected to a system. Roots is independent. We don't ask for any money, federal funds or nothing. We're independent, private membership only. So it gives us protection in the grounds of contract law between us and our members. We have our own right to practice our religious beliefs, which are not spoken up for.
yeah. And I was aware of a lot of the Indian or Native American churches, right, with having ayahuasca, because I'm down for that. I have never I've never did it, and I wouldn't mind.
I can't.
I don't know if that, but maybe I could.
Me either. And I've always wanted to go to Peru. Well, here's the reality. The churches should have the lawful authority to provide that to their
Yeah,
members. Because it should only be done under proper guidance.
yeah,
It should be done with reverence. You need somebody to guide you. You should not be doing that on your own. Same with psilocybin or
right,
cannabis even,
yeah,
because these plants are they're sacred.
right.
Secret,
No, no
but they're
doubt.
not being honored and taken in ceremony.
Yeah, they
So
take it just
I
to
would
get
love to
high.
go to
A lot of
Peru.
people
We
just take it to
should
get
talk
high.
about booking
Yeah,
us. Well, here's the reality. Even if they're taking it in a recreational way,
I do
medicinally
too.
treating something.
Yeah, I do as a teen.
Yeah, they're medicinally treating
Yeah,
something. They just don't know how to properly consume it. They're
right,
just doing it because some sort of pain or trauma.
right.
But
Even
that's
me,
why they need guidance.
even for me, I worked in mental health for the Merced County for years and LA County for years, and we used to call it the language that they self medicate. That's the language we would use when people are
It is
using.
self-medicate.
Yeah, that's what we would use. Yeah, no doubt, it definitely is interesting. It's interesting. You've actually not knowing these things about you just like blown me away, and I really appreciate it. We will even definitely have to even do this again in the future. I mean, I see a collaboration, especially. We have a lot in common with this, and I appreciate what you're bringing and what you're saying. So I talk all the time here, so go ahead. You talk. I can definitely learn and listen.
Yeah, I appreciate you. I probably have a few minutes. I guess the battery seems to die pretty quick when you're on a live. Wasn't prepared for that. Um,
Are you on a camera? Or are you
so
on your
yeah,
phone?
so with Roots, I'm on my phone. Yeah,
Okay.
no, I do have a laptop, but
Next
I
time I'll
was
do laptop because
we
I
can
didn't have
let's
my.
reschedule another day and pick a to- let's pick a topic and we can come prepared.
Yeah,
There's so much to teach
yeah.
people
And you
out
know what I
there.
like about you, and then I found out just by us talking was you have a plethora of not one area, kind of. You have a plethora of different areas you know about in consciousness, knowledge. You know that when you told me you know what the pleroma is, I said, oh, she knows about what Gnosticism connection is. And I read your thing and you talk about alchemy. I know you know you're an alchemist. And you know these things, so which is how I
Yeah.
am somewhat. I'm not just one thing, right? Um,
Yeah,
because
and we're
we're
not
all
meant to be. We're meant
yeah,
to, yeah,
yeah,
that's all of us. It
yeah,
all, it's symbols too.
yes. Um, Definitely the symbols. I actually had mentioned earlier when I recorded and before when we had that little we couldn't get on was I've been getting up recently, like early in the morning, 3 or 4 in the morning, and I've been doing poems, writing some of these poems that I actually have wrote 7 in the last couple days. And I'm going to start sharing them with some other people's poems that I'm kind of familiar with in the past, that have written poems and stuff, or short stories that are conscious based of their experience through the layers of self. Yeah. Um, Whatever
That
somebody.
is how our ancestors used to do it. It was always through storytelling.
Yes.
So that is a phenomenal idea. Because when you can, okay, a good storyteller can visually take the person on a journey, and this
Yeah.
is where like recapitulation comes into play, and you can literally help people reprogram their subconscious mind through storytelling, which is what they need.
Yes.
Because all the programming that's been done to us, we need to help people to erase it and to expand into the truth. And you talk a lot about that on your podcasts. I really appreciate it. Hey, Daniel, my phone is not making it through this live, so I think they're going to have to cut this short and reschedule for another time. But
Yes.
I
We
would love
will.
to have a
And we'll stay
topic.
connected.
And
We'll stay connected even more. And I know. Do you go live on your Instagram?
yes,
Yeah, we could even do that together because I very
I
rarely do go live
okay,
on
I
Instagram.
would. I haven't.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
something
haven't,
we
but I
could
would
do.
love to. That's a
Yeah,
great idea.
I see us collaborating more. I think it's awesome. It's a good balance too with
Yeah,
us. Yes, it's a good balance
me
with us.
too. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It was great
Oh,
talking with you, Daniel.
oh,
I don't, before the
I'm
phone
glad you
cuts
were
off
here.
on you, I'm just going to say
Yeah.
bye.
Bye. Thank you, and I appreciate that.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Bye. Wow. This is going to be a great collaboration that we're going to do, and meeting her. And then I'm going to tell you some of the things that blew my mind when we really met. We've been kind of, she's busy, I'm busy, talking on Instagram. And as we talked on Instagram, I started noticing some things. I started noticing as we talked, I go, my jaw dropped. Me and her have the same connection. In one side of the family, Mexican. To one side of the family, she's Caucasian. She's German. She's also German, German and French. I think I could be wrong, but for sure German. I'm Scottish and Irish, and then we're both Native American from the state of Oklahoma. And then that's when I was like, wow. And then you see her work with Roots of Healing. Check her out check her out on on her Instagram for sure. I don't know if she has other social media she has, but Instagram is very powerful. And when I was going through her stuff, I was seeing some of the things she was going through and doing, um, and I was like blown away. But then when we really got to share one on one and really talk the talk spiritually, I was really blowing away from her, by her. And when I was blown away from her, by her, I was just like, wow. So her phone was dying. We kind of got caught because we were supposed to come on at 3. My system was kind of blocking me from letting her on. Let me see what's on here. I got some stuff. She was some messages here in my chat. Thankful. Um, Patty Presley. Thank you for the yellow heart, red heart. I knew Patty would like this. Me and her will collaborate. Patty's one of our, definitely I consider a friend, and a more sister, is here uh, all the time, always supporting. Try to get her on, but she doesn't feel that she's she really wants to talk. But boy, when she has a wealth of knowledge in herself, when you get to let her start rolling conversation, very spiritual. And there's a lot of this with all of us out here that are seeing, awake, and seeing. Um, so Cherish, me and her will do more, but follow Cherish on her social media, definitely Instagram. We talked about even going live together, and I think that would be a good thing. I was blown away. We're going to do this. I'm going to invite her on and let her really cook on here. And I'll even fade it into the black to allow her to cook and give her the space to cook here. But, anyways, actually, recently, I've been learning, and I've been knowing this for a few months because it's been coming to me. I've known about it because I did it a long time ago. I used to write a lot of poems a long time ago, but I would write poems on certain aspects back then. It was more about life in general, but my poem, the last 48 hours, I've written 7 poems, which I will eventually share here. There's one poem I would like to share, and it's definitely a poem that I learned or heard the other day. Let me get my glasses on because I definitely will spell the wrong word if I don't. And let me do something here. I'm going to share this poem since we're on here very not so long, right? And today, but we will do this. We will have. How many of you put yes in here if you're here listening that you would like to see Cherrish back? Cherrish Castenda. But I'm going to share a poem with you, not for me. I will share that soon, but another poem by Robert Frost. And let me go back into here. Robert Frost, will go into who Robert Frost is, what Robert Frost did, and what he was known for. Robert Frost. But there's some other things of some others that I will share that were in the past, even as in the 1800s, that were speaking a higher truth through their poems, through their short stories, and different things like that. Just the writing, being able to get it up. So I had known recently that I was supposed to start writing or typing whatever, speaking poems and stories. As I'm getting them, I would go into it. So I went the other night. I went into this heavy sleep early, like 6:30. Woke up at 3:30 in the morning, and I believe it was Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, and 3:30 early Wednesday morning, I started writing poems. I wrote 5, and then I followed up the next day with 2 more. And the last one, instead of me texting it to myself, because that's what I did, I texted it to myself. I took the voice recorder out and just spoke it into my phone, the last one. But I want to share definitely Robert Frost's poem, and it's very interesting because Robert Frost, let's get a little bit of Robert Frost's poem was called The Demi-Urge Laugh, a notable poem featuring the figure depicting a speaker pursuing a false god through the woods, only to be met with mocking laughter from the creature. I want to read the poem, though. I thought that would have the poem. Where's the poem? Let's have the poem. I want the whole poem, because the poem's there. I want the whole. Okay, it's not giving me the whole poem. I want the whole poem. Let me go up here and change it. Let me add this. I thought it was a poem. Tell us a little bit about him. About the Demi-Urge Laugh. Okay, I want the poem. I don't want the narrative about it. Come on now. Maybe it's here. It might be here. Okay. I will share this on the screen. Yeah, there it is. I will share this on the screen. Let me go back and share it because I'll have to share this one. Okay, let me go in here and stop sharing, and then we will share again this poem. Very good poem. So this is Robert Frost, 1874, 1963. So he was born actually a year after I was born, or he died a year after I was born. It was far in the sameness of the wood. It was running with joy on a demon's trail. Though I knew what I hunted was no true God. Ooh. It was just the light was beginning to fail. Then suddenly I heard, and all I needed to hear, it lasted me many, many a year. The wound was behind me instead of before, a sleepy sound, but a mocking half. As one of you utterly couldn't care, the demon arose from from his wallow to laugh, brushing the dirt from eye as he went. And well I knew what the demon meant. I shall not forget how his laugh rang out. I felt as a fool who had been so caught. I checked out my steps to make the pretense it was something among the leaves I sought. Through doubtful where he stayed to see, thereafter I sat against a tree. This poem was powerful. It was called and the name of this poem is The Demiurge's Laugh. The Demiurge's Laugh. I thought this was the Demiurge's Laugh. When you go through it, he went through a wood and there was darkness, but he realized that which he thought was light was really darkness. And as he went through that darkness, he started to see. Notice how this goes against what nature would say. As he went through the darkness, he started to see. And I'm already rhyming a rhyme with what I seen he said, which I'll stop. But this is how it's been flowing out of me in my writings. So what he did was through this woodness and this awareness, he found the false god, the demiurge. We know that, and many are here. We're talking about the Gnostic gods, Yada, the demiurge, the jealous god. So I found it very, very interesting, as some other books and some other poets had written some other very strong stuff from the 1800s, 1700s that would be aligned with many of what we see today. See, we have walked many paces and many roads, and we have experienced many things and even past times, just be us as individuals. You are not who you are, but you are everything that you're not, kind of like that. And if you hear what I'm saying, you will get what I'm saying. But what I was amazed is that many of us have lived multiple lifetimes, right? We have, just facts. We know that we know, and experience many things in other times. And like our guest earlier said, Cherrish, which was very powerful. Cherrish said something about the ancestors knew vibration and frequency, but the systems demonized them as ignorant, and they didn't know anything. And all this we see is new technology. It's not. It's ancient. Our ancestors do know more than what's being taught, even at your universities. Let's be honest. And your school system, which has been used to rot and program us. It's really rot, especially as it's got more and more progressive. We see what's come out of it. People don't even know how to read and write at the third and fourth grade level anymore. They're not being taught anything. Nobody has the skills that they used to have. But also, we know that our ancestors are very spiritual. They knew things, not believed. They knew things. They didn't follow propagated to a religion or anything like that. They knew their connection to who they were. And really, what she's showing is that we have had this in our DNA from a long time ago. Our DNA's had this aspect, and you start combinizing. And I know Patty definitely is here, has talked about her frequency and her connection to the ancestors in our individual talks that she has, and we do. If some of them the world will call it ancestral worship, and that's very wrong and it's not right. It's not truth. It's not ancestral. Nobody's worshiping anything. Nobody's worshiping anything to have a worship. And any god that needs worship is got a problem, which would be the demiurge, because when you needed to be left up, because you needed to be raised, do you have a self-esteem problem you got? And so I love this. The demiurge laugh is what he heard in the story of walking through the wilderness, where within the darkness he's seen the light. Is what Robert Frost is telling you. Within the pain, even the tree connects. It ends with him sitting against the tree. How many of our stories are allegorical stories about the tree? Buddha under the tree, right? The tree of life. Many tree stories go into very ancient stories and these connections. So really, I will not keep you guys much longer here. But me and Cherrish will connect again. Again, if you guys want to see it, just hit me up. And I got some other things to bring out, and also I do got some stuff to do with, I have to do with some of the other stuff I got. Besides the poems, I got definitely another strong thing I came to me the other day as we keep up with quantum physics, the holographic reality, which is connected, like she said. She mentioned the word plasma. Now we're talking the holographic reality with plasma. Why is it sought after so much by them in power and them in the elite? The prison jailers to the lower realm, and the gangsters around the reality, right? The true gangsters that run the reality. Gangsta. I notice I'm using a little bit of talk of the folks I know that are in the hood, or folks that I know. Shouldn't stay hood. They want to keep us in Robin the Hood, right? They called him Robin Hood for a reason. Yeah, programming, and she mentioned something very important, that using vibration frequency drums, music tones and vibrations for healing from traumas, right? Because a lot of what's being taught in mainstream with people going through stuff is always traumatic. She brought up something that's not realized and not spoken out. Besides the trauma aspect, one side, there's the healing and greatness aspect and the knowledge aspect and the love aspect of the other side, which is never brought up because it's only keeps you, when you stay in the trauma, you will always be in the trauma. When you stay in the trauma, you will always be in the trauma. So you guys have a great day. Really, really appreciate our guest today and them who are staying connected. Appreciate you. You guys have a great day. And we will see and talk to you soon. Keep your head up. Oh, let me see. I got another chat. Let me see what we got going on in the chat. Yes, somebody this is from Patty. Loving this, right where I've been with the ancestors, even Peru. Pretty awesome. Yep. Storytelling, love. I will be talking, and yes, absolutely, we will. And definitely, absolutely. And Patty, connect if you're on Instagram to this Cherrish. I will let her know who you are. I think there's a good connection with you and her too. And we will have her on again and arrange some stuff and definitely going. I was waiting for the perfect person or people to connect, to add to do that, because I'm okay going, come on in, and I step back and let them bring forth stuff, because we're in a unity oneness, and letting other people, because I really love that we can have the connection of balance with feminine and masculine, because we're actually all of them within us, whether we're physically a male or physically a female. The females, yes, you have masculine parts of you, but it's a balance of energy that we are. Frequency and vibration energies where the creation using feminine and masculine is really absorbed and comes forth. But we can go deep on this. I love and appreciate all you guys are here. Absolutely love. Patty, surprised you with a guest, I'm sure. So you guys have a rest of your wonderful Thursday. If you're in another country, if you're ahead of us and it's already going pushing Friday, that's cool. Hey, we're jumping from Thursday to Friday because we're not limited to a place and time. We're eradicating timelines to find timelines that are just not linear. We're breaking linear timelines because it's a false of how history really works. But you guys have a great day.